back in December when you filed the FOI suit, Mayor Bowden on Channel 8 and on Channel 30 stated that Danbury police played no part in the raid. When did you find out that the Danbury police officer was driving the van?
When did we find that out?
What time? This was, I think if I'm correct, Mayor Bowden made these statements back in December. When did you find out?
Right. Yeah. We found out in, what was it, perhaps April? That's right. So actually, we've learned this in the immigration proceedings where we're seeking to suppress the unlawfully obtained evidence. The government, in their brief that they submitted to the court, actually said that it was a Danbury police officer driving the van. And so, according to ICE, it was a Danbury operation.
Besides the person driving that van, were there any other officers, Danbury police officers, involved in the raid, and if so, how?
Absolutely. They were in the parking lot when the men were arrested and were among those who surrounded the men at the parking lot and arrested them. They are named as defendants in this suit because of the actions that they have.
Just for a little context, a little background here, this is after Mayor Bowden had sought to have the police authorization to enforce immigration laws. He was told by the state government or the federal government that the state government that they could not do that.
That's right.
So if what you're saying is true, if the involvement of Danbury police officers is what you're saying it is, does that violate state law, federal law,
Well, what
does that show?
It violates the Fourth Amendment because it means they didn't have the authority to make the arrest that they carried out. And that's what we're alleging in this complaint. You're absolutely right that the mayor has sought the authorization. Actually, he wanted to have state officers, state troopers deputized to this memorandum of understanding, and was denied. The governor of Connecticut, Joe Urell, decided that it was bad policy. And so you're absolutely right that the mayor knows and the police chief knows how one would go about enforcing civil immigration law at the local level, and it's only through this memorandum of understanding. And yet they decided, for whatever reason, to do it anyway, which is why we're being sued.
Has the mayor clarified a statement that he made in December?
Not to our knowledge, no.
No.
Thank you.
Recently, we've been apprised of a lawsuit that's been filed by the Yale Law School against the City of Danbury, Chief of Police, and Immigration Customs Enforcement. At this time, I have not seen or reviewed the complaint because, frankly, Yale didn't have the courtesy to give us a copy. So I'm not going to be able to comment on any details of the complaint or any allegations that are in the complaint.
Did federal authorities contact you and ask you to perform this operation, or did you contact them for assistance? Who asked first?
Well, I think at this point, again, without seeing the nature of the complaint, this is really something that we're going to discuss now, particularly because of litigation. That'll all come out of court.
I think it's something in there freedom of information requests from 3 months ago that is a Danbury police officer driving a van or a Danbury police. Is that part of the assistance?
Well, we're not going to comment about the specifics of the case. We haven't read the complaint because we haven't received a copy of it yet. But in terms of who assisted who in the actual details and specifics of that event, we just can't comment on it.
The chief just said Danbury assisted ICE. Am I clear on that?
Logistical assistance.
Logistical.
That's right. The nature of that assistance, we're not going to discuss.
To your understanding, the chief's understanding, who made the initial arrests in this situation?
Again, that's a detail of the operation we're just not going to discuss with you, Mark. We need to read.
That's a very public thing. I mean, who made the arrest? You or ICE?
Well, there's differing opinions on that, but we're not going to comment on that because we haven't read the complaint. We certainly don't know what the nature of the complaint is.